Hello everybody, this is Sonya. I'm in Australia and it is cold. It is freezing cold. Got the woolly jumper on today, but I can't work with it hanging down over my hands. Right, now I'm going to just start something else now. I mean, I know I've got other things I'm still working on, and I'm nearly finished, so nobody panic, it'll be okay. We'll be back to see how to put them together very shortly. So, the other day, or yesterday, I went out and last week I asked the lady at the can assist if she had any little flowers, you know. I was sort of thinking of maybe the ones that I've got here. I found one this morning, got a whole heap of me somewhere, but you know how that is. Let me see. It's flying around there. Something like that sort of thing. I asked her at the sewing place. But anyway, when I went up there yesterday, her sister was there and she had all these on, actually they're still on the stems and that, and I haven't taken them all off, but I've got a whole heap. And I thought about, I'm thinking, now what am I going to do with those? But I do know, and it'll involve slow stitching, and it will be really cool, I hope. But then I thought, no, I've got heaps of them. This is some that I got out of the jars. Now, these are made out of a fabric sort of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think it's silk. I don't think so, really. I don't think they are, but they're made out of fabricy things, so therefore you can use. Now that's really cool, isn't it? But that's a lot of work in that piece. But anyway, so I'm going to try and see. Well, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to think I'll be right. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them. You know how you have a thought, and then it's sort of, yes, right now what am I going to do? But anyway, I've got a piece of. It's like a calico, but it's not calico. It looks like calico because it's a woven fabric of some sort, and I like the colour, and I like it because it's only got a very the weave on it is very open, and I like to use a very open weave, especially if I'm going to be using thicker thread in that, and I'm planning on doing that as well. I come home and I was looking on the internet and I found a lady doing something exactly the same, and I thought, that's weird. I said to Jimmy, how come she's on there doing that and I've even got started with mine and I've never seen her before, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I only thought of it yesterday afternoon, and she'd already, sorry about this, I'm just getting some water, and she'd already started hers and she'd been doing hers. Doing the same thing with the bigger flowers, and I'm going to make some sort of a picture, maybe. Could be anything. Could be a little wall hanging. Could be anything. But anyway, you can have a go at this too if you like. This is going to have other pieces of fabric and things on it. Okay, because I'm going to need to have that sort of thing. But for the time being, because I'm a bit late doing this, I'm going to just start on something. Now look at that, isn't that absolutely beautiful? I think it's too big, you know, and I've only got a couple of these. I must have, oh no, I've got a jar up there with leaves in. I'm sure I've got a jar with leaves, but I don't know if they're like that. That's the only thing. Just buy the flowers and then pull them off the flowers. I may have no, I don't think I've got another pot of flowers. I have these leaves here, but they're not, oh, this yellow. Hang on. This is what I was doing going to do me piece with. I was going to use these in me journal, but I think I've changed my style of the journal. I don't know. It's not even really been worked on that much. Hang on, here's it. Because I want to sew too. I want to do all these things. Oh, look at these ones. But they're big. Aren't they big? They can pull this bit off because it's not needed. At least I think I can. I don't know. It'll come off. It's only glued on there. Wow, that's a big one. They're too big. I'm looking at doing something a little bit more delicate than that, you know. But anyway, I've got this one here. the velvet one. That's beautiful, isn't it? You'll have only one of those. Yeah. Here's another one. There's two. Might be able to do something. You never know yet. There we go. I'll put these things back in the bag. They're not going to fit in that little tiny bag, are they? I have containers laying around here all over the place. Okay. I'll put those in there because I want to... excuse me. I need to be able to find them properly. Being in the bag sometimes is not a good option for these sort of things. You can't get them out, and we've got bits of paper of everything here. Bits of everything in there. Getting those out of the road. I'm sorry if I'm fiddling around a bit, but you know how you get started with craft. You've got to start from the beginning, don't you? Can be set out on the table. I'm wondering if I could use this, because these are a good solid paper one. You know, they're a good solid one, so you could, it just depends. I'm going to sew this. Okay, we're sewing it with my hand. And that's okay, because that's fun, isn't it? And I do like the real open pieces of lace. So we could have a piece of that. Could have a piece of this. Would you go with the blue? Okay, I like that bit. I do like that bit, but I might have to cut about a bit on it. Let's see what we can do with that piece. Oh, these sleeves are a bit annoying, aren't they? That must have fell out of something. Okay, let me see now. Well, I'm going to put down... Might leave those leaves, keep those leaves. That one's too big. Have I got another colour? Got a smaller one of those. I do. I've got a nice different shape one of these. You don't know what it's going to turn out like, but I'm excited about it because I really like this idea, because I think it's creative. I do want to do some sort of creative embroidery is what they call it, if you do bits, you know, like this. I might have to cut a bit off this. Now let me see, which bit will I have? I've probably already got some cut somewhere, but and that'll probably be in the drawer next to me, but I'm just going to do this first. I'm going to take that up around there, okay, for that bit. I suppose if I showed you what it was like as to start with, you might stay a bit more interested, but I think maybe a lot of you know how I work, so if you only knew, you know, just subscribe, because you'll find there's some really good things on my channel. I do some really good things, a lot of things. I have got a real lot of videos. I don't know if I'm heading close to 3,000. I've been on here a very long time. But anyway, and I've quite enjoyed it too, I must say, because I teach what I know. I teach what I know. I've cut that. There's something missing on that bit. Oh dear me, I'll have to find another one, won't I? I suppose I could use the bigger one. We'll just see what happens. It looks pretty, doesn't it? Now I've got these little blokes too, and we should probably use them. So you know what I should do? I should do a small piece for you to follow, shouldn't I, instead of a great big bit? Should do a small piece. What do you reckon? After all that, make a little phone bag or something. What do you think? But this is only tiny, tiny. Oh well, I'm just going to do the apricot piece I'll put on, and just for the time being, I'll show you, okay, what we're going to do. So I've got a piece of cotton here, and I'm not going to use that because of the colour. And I've got some here that I've really turned into a mouse nest, sort of. Mouse nest. So you've seen me sew on that sort of thing. I haven't finished this one yet either. This is sewing on the piece, you know, that's already, the picture's already on. But this time I'm putting the things on it. I need something that's going to go on there that you can't see very plain because I didn't really want that to be showing, but we'll see. I've got a bit of this here, might do. I'll just get a bit of... No, I picked up the wrong one. Where did that go? Back here, Sonia, where did it go? I thought I had a piece of... That's not right. What was me? It's maybe the eyes. Oh, that one was too thick. Well, I'm not sort of seeing anything like I want, am I? I have got a whole heap of boxes of cottons next to the side of me sitting here on the floor. Okay. I did Jeremy to pass them down to me so I could find what I was looking for. You won't see that very plain, will you? It'll save me going through all this stuff, wasting all your time. I'll have a go at this one, see what it works out like. You won't be able to see it. And I don't think it really matters because I think I'm going to be embroidering over the top of it anyway. This is just to catch, this is just to hold it down to start with, alright? I don't know what I've done here, but I've undone the wrong end. Righto. Now I like to use a piece of thread that is about 18 inches, and that one's too long, so because I don't like to get too cobbled up, I've got my beads here sliding away. I was looking for some green beads. Anyway, so this can have beads on it too. Now see, this is something we can do if we don't have anything cut out. Like I've got cut out pieces that I cut out on my big shot of fabric to do applique, but appliquing these flowers is a good idea, I think, because it's I'll have to get just to excuse me hands again. I'll get them done. I'm going to go Friday, but anyway, I've got to can't remember what I was going to say. I was too worried about how bad these excuse me look, but I can't help it. Anyway, so I'm going to put this down. I've got a piece of thread. It's not too far away from the colour that I want. I don't know if I was talking about something and then completely forgot, but it may come back to mind later. So I'm just going to do some nice stab stitches, but we do want a bit of something around it. I don't know about that. It's too much. Something underneath it, just for maybe a bit of green might be a better idea. How about you put a flower under there, a bit of leaf or something under it. Anyway, we might work on that a bit after, but I want to show you this one here first. I'm going to do some nice stitching around here. Hold it on. And there is hundreds of stitches, hundreds of them. And see, when you've been doing embroidery too, you do use a lot, but then you also forget a lot too, which that happens. So I'm just doing some little stab stitches, and they're a little bit, they're small on the top and really large along the bottom, because you can just do this to fasten it down, okay? Now, you may glue it if you want to, but then you're going to risk of getting it stuck as you're going around. Okay. Yeah, I should be making a little foam bag or something. I may do that. Okay. Freezing cold yesterday it was, and I had to go out. I didn't have a choice, and it froze to bits. My poor old knees don't like me. Oh, I can't wait for this. I'm grizzling a lot about this weather, but I can't help it. Jeremy just said out there, well, that's enough cold, he said. He said, that's enough cold. And it is really, because it is, we're not used to this. We have, like I keep saying, you know, we're sort of, we like the, well, we do, sometimes you like the warm. Most of the time I do. I'd rather the warm weather any day. You can sort of, it can get cool if you've got to go and sit in the shower or something. you can get cool. I suppose you get warm too if you go and get in a hot shower, if that's a need be, but anyway, let's fasten this down. We are. Now I've got all sorts of different thread, but I'm going to use the pearl cotton because it's really something I like. If you watch the other lady's channel, you'll find out she likes it too. So, you know, lots of us do have lots in common. Applique was my first thing that I really liked to do. I loved to do applique, and then I got into the embroidery in a lot bigger way because I did a lot of embroidery too with applique, but it was my first thing that I really enjoyed. I did a lot without putting the stuff behind it, made it stick to the fabric first. I did a lot like that. It was a little bit painstaking with time. It took time, and you had to be careful, but that's okay because I really, really enjoyed doing that. You sit there and chill out and just do it, you know. I'll have to go get another piece of thread because that wasn't quite long enough. Maybe if hadn't cut that bit off, it would have made it around there. Never mind. Where is it? Here. If I'm just getting one piece out of here, one thread out of the 6, just pull it out the top. I do, and it seems to work all right for me. I mean, I can't do it the other way. You've got to have more hands. Anyhow, I was saying something to Jeremy about me fingernails. He said, you'll have to wear some lace gloves. That's a bit of an option. I don't think that'd be a bit hard to do. Have lace gloves on while you were sewing. But anyhow, I don't think I got much yesterday. What did I get? Oh, the flowers. She gave me those. And I bought a couple of things for the garden, and I've got something online too, so I might do a video later of some bits and that. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. Might do some more tomorrow. Today, don't know what I'm up to today yet. I know I've got to do some cooking. I'll do something. And well, it's my usual. I just like to cook my curry prawns when I do. I thought about getting them from the cafe, and I thought, no, I'd rather do my own. I know that's weird, but I'd rather do it myself because I think I like mine better. There we go. So we've got that on. Now I've put these a lot closer together than that, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. It's going to be fine. I should do I'll put some small ones on here too around it. So, but I need to put some sort of applique. Excuse me, lace or something. Some sort of lace. Lacy applique bits, and I don't. Can't quite think of where that would be because it probably hasn't got its name on it properly, but I do have, at least there might be some in here. I'll just have a peep in here a minute. Excuse me, I'm just going to put these bits. These are what I was telling you about, so we'll have a look at those. You can always cut out your own piece anyway, Sonya, look at that. If you can't find a leaf. I'm going to go down into this door here. Yeah. So I've got something down in here that I can use. I'll do like that bit. Righto, let's not fish out too much. Let's just go with that. It's not what I was originally looking for, but it's good. It's a good piece. Okay. Let's open this. I like to leave the drawer open so I can put stuff on, but then I've been putting it away, so it's only things in boxes that I've been adding to it. Well, I've got that. I'll put this over there. This is nice, isn't it? Look. Wow. Well, I do like that. Must be the only bit I've got of it too, by the looks of things. Otherwise, I would have had a note on it. I do that sometimes. I've got these. Right, I've got out a few cut-out leaves and that there that I could probably use those. But see, these are what I've got that I've cut out on my big shot. I've only got a few. I've got a few different flowers, and then I've got some leaves. And I've only got 2 or 3 of those things because they cost a real lot of money. They do. They're really expensive. Them big shot ones, them thick. They're really thick like that. The dies. They're the only sort of ones I can use to cut these fabric with. That's not a leaf in there, is it? These are. I just might leave them aside for a second. Just see what I'm going to do. Anything green in here? No. I like this bit. I think I'm going to find some. Oh, this room being sorted out is so good, everybody. Oh, wow, it's so good. Look at that. Isn't that scrumptious? I do like this. I really do. I'm going to cut this over here where it's already been pulled apart by the look of it. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I could sew something like that, couldn't I? Oh, that'd be fun, yes. And this here. This would be good. Let's go along here and cut this bit of this out first. I don't know where I want to cut it. I don't like to cut it. Ah, dear. Now I'm being all silly. If I don't cut it, I won't have a beautiful piece of work, will I? I know I should have done this. I should have took it back to here because it's going to be too... Oh, this way it's going to move. Be flatter, I think. I don't know. How am I going to make a decoration out of that? Okay. I suppose this bit here looks like it could be. What do you reckon? I'm not killing it. I hope I'm not killing it. And it doesn't matter if I leave it a bit like what's the name on the background, does it? Right. Well, it's a bit insignificant now for the time being, but it could turn into something really amazing, couldn't it? So let's just put that there for the time being. You know, that's going to sit there. I might do a few stitches on it, because you never know what might happen with it. It could stay there, could come off. You don't know with me, do you? But it's just something that I thought I'd like to try and work with that too. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. I've got a bit of time still. Hope I made a knot in that. Okay. Some people, when they're doing this sort of thing, they have a pattern that they follow. You know, and that's fine. You can draw yourself a nice pattern or a picture or something, what you want it to come out like. I can't do that. I can, but I can't make it actually like I say, because you don't know. I'm afraid I've got to see what it looks like in the real before I can decide if that's what it's going to be. I've had to do that though before. You know, you got to learn to work on by a design. Your design going in the first place. You draw it on your material if you wanted to, and then just make it how you want it to be. I'll go behind here too. Okay. I've got these tiny little bits and I'm keeping them. Looks like I'm sticking towards the orangey part, the orange colour ones, doesn't it? maybe I can just add something else into it. This colour's quite good actually. I do like this. I've taken on went and bought some orange the other day so I could get a bit off it. All this is recycled, you know. I'm recycling the piece of lace, the flower, and the fabric was a piece that I've got somewhere. Oh, now that's going to work. I'm sure that's going to work. I guess I could show you what I got while we're here because you wonder what I'm talking about. But the other day I was up when I went up the street. This is last week, I think. I didn't show it to you because I've got these ones here ready to sew on the machine, so I'm going to leave that there. Now, I went and I bought, I showed you these, but I bought this doily thing, and it had that round the outside, and I picked that off, see? So now I've got this, because that was round the outside of the doily, and I really like this. Somebody's crocheted it, so now it belongs to Sonya. And that could easily go on there somewhere too, couldn't it? Then I got a tea towel, or tablecloth I should say, and it had these red flowers on it. I tore this bit out. I noticed that there was a patch there that was a bit faded or a bit dye through it or something. But I'm thinking I'm going to keep them, I don't know. But around the outside there was this, so I pulled that off, so I've got them pieces. There was also this next, there's a panel of that around it. Really strange, the orange on the red, but that's okay. So I've got these pieces, and it's really good, like it's a good, thick, heavy stuff, so they're really good. Plus I tore this bit off, that was the edge of it. So that's given me that. And then there's this other bit, because there was all these bands of colour around the outside, and these were, went that side. The thing was this side, then there was a wider band, and there's another few of these bits here, but that's what I've got now ready to do something with if I need to do that, because it gives me, something to make something out of. I might not even ever use this, I don't know, because I don't know if I'm really keen on the red colour, and it is, some parts of it looks a little bit old, but some of it's not too bad. I'll have to see what I think about it anyway. I've still got a whole heap left. I also got these two pieces here, and you've seen that I bought those ones I showed you. I've got these two nice ones as well, and that'd be just the thing to put on what I'm doing, one of these, wouldn't it? See, and I can also take this other middle bit out if I want it later. But anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say that I got the other day that I'm going to recycle, because I do like to recycle. So that's those ones. And anyway, I had to buy a new box to start putting stuff in. I'm going to put these on here, aren't I? Look at these. This would be interesting, won't it? I better do some sewing, though. I've got to do some sewing for you, because that's what I was looking forward to myself. Now, when you're cutting out something like this, you have to be careful, and you just be, this will cut there, right, because there's a little tiny stitch there. Some of them you see are easier, and others you don't. Come on, you can do this, Sonya, you can. Might be one that just pulls straight undone. I mean, that won't be nice, will it? So this one here, that was quite easy. There was a stitch all the way around there. Why is this not the same? Well, it isn't, is it? See, some people do them different, I guess. Unless it's this one here that I got to cut. Make a mess of this and it won't work ever. I don't think that'll come apart. Well, I'll sew something over it. I'll sew it so it doesn't, won't I? Because it's only done on one stitch at a time, crochets. You can do this with it. You can. You really game and do this with it. I'll have a little wheel that I get it cut out. Just make sure you cut the at the same place, so you've got the wheel that you don't cut a bit off, or the flower shaped, or whatever you're going for. Hey, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I've got a few more there that I can get off there. So this is going to go on here too. Okay, rightio. So, and this, I'll put a bit of this on here somewhere as well, I think. Don't know what as yet. We'll see how we go. You never know, do you, with me? So I can't really say anything's for sure around here. And then I do have this that I can cut out a leaf if I want to. You don't have to actually use the shape, but I could, I suppose. There's a shape of a leaf there. Righto, so now let's do a bit of embroidery on this here. I'll get some thread and show you that we're going to be doing a lot of something. Wait a minute. I won't be just going around there. I'm going to have a... Sorry, looking for a colour. This might be a bit thick though. That one's a bit thick. I pulled out these two because I thought I'd like those, and I haven't got anything that colour in this box. I've got some really beautiful colours in this box, but I'm looking for the right thing, you see, and I'm sure I've got another box of this sort of thing, the pearl thread. I know I have, but these ones I wound on because I do like that. And then I could go for the cream too, I suppose. Look at me going back to the same colours that I always use, eh? It's just that I have a... I'll just have a look at these ones here, see what I think. Okay. Now you need a good needle, and this will... You know, this is really thick. This one is make a good hole, and it's good size to hang on to it too. So I want to put something around the outside of there, but I want it to be like, you know, florally, to leave it florally sort of. So I left that out of there. I think I might use this. I don't know how I'll go with making... No, you can't even see that. Let's put something a bit brighter on there, Sonia. You've got to do the brighter thing. Now, I've used that in the thing I was just doing too, haven't I? I don't know, naughty, but anyway, it doesn't matter. If I like these colours, I'll go with them, eh? And I just do. I'd like it. Love some teal blue colour, actually. And I don't know if I have it in here. I've got... This is too dark. That's kind of sort of, is it? No, I haven't got any. Oh, goodness. I better order some. I better go and order some, eh? Some blues. Some blues in me, what's the name? In me thread, because I used a lot of it over the years. I've used a real lot of it over the years. I don't know if I want to put that over that or not. I'm going to start going around the edge of this anyway so you can see what I'm doing. Now, because I didn't hold that back, hang on, it'll still work. I'll just come up through the centre of here. And then I'm going to make a bullion stitch. Now usually you make it the length of that. You wrap the same length as what you take in your stitch. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it a tiny bit bigger so it'll have a bit of volume to it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wraps. Push it right down. 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe that. Okay. A bit more. 12. Let's do 12. Now hang on to it. Right, get hold of it. Move it through your fingers, like rock it backwards and forwards until it comes through. Hang on to it with your thumb and your finger. And put this like that. Pull it up till it's back there where you come out at and go down behind that. Okay, Now, I might go back in there, make it a... so I'm going to go up through the middle, righto? I'm going to go up through the middle of that stitch. I'm not going to get anything but the fabric. And then I'm going to pull that up like so. Give it a roll so it'll look a bit tidier. And then I'm coming down the other side of there. And I'll go up in through there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Righto. Now pull that through. Oops, I hope that didn't come off there. It may have done, I didn't see it though. Whoops a daisy. Look what we're doing, we're getting all kerfuffled here, muddled up. It's okay. Hang on to it. Just hang on to it. Nobody panic. Oh dear. So that's going to look like that, okay? Which is probably going to be way too much work. Okay. Now look, I know that this is probably not how you expect to see a video, unless of course you're one of my usual people. But see, I have to try these things. I'm finding now that this is too dark. I don't want to put that on there. I'd like to put something a bit different on there. I did want a tealy blue colour, so I think I'm going to look at some cotton. I'm going to look at a bit of cotton to see if I've got, and not that one, okay? Right. Now I know the other, well, the place I'm going to get it from will be in here, because I haven't even bothered putting these away yet. Because I haven't got any in the pearl thread, I'm going to get into my nice bundle here that I have. Might start to get out of here one end. We need a nice blue one. I feel bad doing this. Oh, I just want to put that on there, I do, because that's the colour I need. I didn't think I'd ever use them. I thought I'd just keep them to have. Sometimes some things are for you to have, if you want them. So you don't have to have the pearl cotton either if you don't want to. It's as simple as that. But I'll do this way, and I'll be able to get it done a little bit faster, and you might be able to see something, eh? Now, do I want to keep it that thick? I don't know. Probably keep it this thick. And I'm going to do a different thing around the outside, because I'll do a straight stitch and then loop something through it, I think. We'll have to see, because we're in I'm in a time thing, but I don't like to rush it because I don't want to wreck it, but I want it to be something that I'm happy with, you know. Yeah, righto. Do I do this or not? Will I like that? I will. Look, I love that one. Won't you? Look at that. The colours, isn't that good? Now, because I want it to look like that, I find that that's too thick. Okay. My thought process will have to be in the comments, won't it? I've got a bit of idea. I'm going to have two pieces. They come off pretty easy. I'm having two pieces of thread. I'm going to have a smaller needle, which is going to be fine. It's just the hole's big enough. As long as your needle's comfortable in your hand and you've got, and it's pretty good and sharp, and it's long enough to use, and it'll make a big enough hole for thread to follow through the back. A lot of projects people do, it tells you what size to use, but you know, you can do whatever you've got, you know, you can use, okay? Now, I'm going to do my favourite, and that'll be a blanket stitch first, but I'm only going to go around one petal so I can keep filling in just the one petal to start with. I'm going to have to have a bigger knot than that. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. Righto. sort of a, this is a blanket stitch, looks a bit like fly stitch, doesn't it? Like feather stitch, because I'm doing it long. So far I'm liking that, don't you think? I'm going to have to get some of this. So with the 2 threads that I'm using, it's about the thickness of the other, of the pearl 8, it is size 8. I hope I'm in the shot, because that'd be scary, wouldn't it, if I wasn't? You've been seeing what I'm doing. Righto, very good. You can do some amazing things with needle and thread, just like the paper craft. They're both good fun. Now, another idea is that if you don't, when you're fastening these down, and you don't go all the way around, you can put something in under there, you can stuff that and pad it up if you want to. We might do one like that after. What do you reckon? I've got to get down here and come back. I'll have to hold it up. I'll hold my work up so you can, so the thing will spin undone. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this close because I do want it to go around this way too, otherwise it won't look right. Oops. Come around here. Really easy to do this is. Just go down in there, put your thread underneath, pull that through. The stitch is very versatile. You can do it real close together, really further apart, or anything you want to do with it, see? It actually looks like it's a feather stitch now, doesn't it? A bit. Both sides, though. Whoops. Get back there, you. This is not as light as I'd like it to be either, this thread, now that I've got it on there. It's nowhere near as light as what I would have liked it to be, but I don't have a choice. Oh, well, I'm not going to change it now. I promise you I won't. I'll keep going. We're going to see if we can do a whole heap of different embroidery threads on this. I do like the way that it's bubbly because it wasn't a flat thing and had a, dimension to it. Whoops. That was me good pin cushion. I better get another colour and do something different. Ouch. Well, I can't really do that because it'll... that'll look good around there, won't it? I'll try this one. I'll do something a little bit brighter. What do you reckon, Sonia? You're going to get brave and do that? Yeah, I think so. After I cut that bit off, it's alright. I'll use it later on something else. Actually, when I'm seeing this, I'm not cutting my thread. Yeah, I am about 18 inches long, between 16, because I don't like it any longer and I don't want it any shorter. I want to be able to use it. Now, another needle, because that won't fit through there. So I needed something with a bigger eye for threading. This is one here's got a bigger eye on it. You see what we're doing? Hope we're not too close and missing out. Oops. Now I'm going to come down here. Oh, did I do a knot? I did not do a knot. I should have done a knot. Hang on. Oh, that's not good. Okay, right. Now I'm going to do this loop through here around the outside, so it's got a bit of maybe 2, 3. I'm picking up the going under the cotton, okay, and not pulling it down too tight, because you know I like to do, actually 3 might be too many. Come on. There. Whoops. This is an interesting colour, this flower, isn't it? You can see there's not much thought gone into this. Just should put a bit more thought into it. Okay. I'll go through with the back, because if you pick up any of the other, it'll all pull, you know, pull it all out of place. So you need to take the back of your needle through underneath that and go over the top of that thing. You could probably use a, what's the name needle to do this? A tapestry needle. It's got a blunt end on it if you wanted to. You just have to get it through your fabric. And if it's not, this is really open weave, so that's a good thing to use if you want to do something like this. You can put something behind it if you want to, but I wouldn't. I just think it's open weave that does the trick. I do. Now I'm only doing 2 in these ones here. I just thought I might have been doing it too big. And then, of course, it's got orange on it. I still want orange on it. I want some orange cotton on there too now. Apricot or orange thread. Where's that going? Underneath it, Sonya. It's all curling up too. This is, so let it down. Just hold your work up and let the needle hang down and it'll twist itself undone. So what you're doing is you're just going to go around here and make this, make that your colour and have it lifting up a bit. And while I'm thinking and watching this, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with it next, because I think it needs a bit more apricot on it somewhere. Oh, well, there's a lot to go on it yet, but I just, you know, I always reckon I'm going to have a practice at things first before I make you look at it, before I stretch it out with showing you what I'm doing. I always say that. I always think to myself, I better go and make this first, and then I think, oh dear, if I do that, I might as well be doing it. You know, that's just how I am. I'm a bit, because there's other things that I'm doing, and I really just, you know. Can anybody tell me where I can buy a Daphne's Diary magazine in Australia? Because they're published overseas, and my newsagents doesn't sell them anymore. You have to do a subscription. I can't really afford to have them shipped from England. I don't really necessarily want a subscription, but I'd like to buy some, because I'd like to do some. I like the pictures in them. I really do love the pictures in them. Now you've got to make sure when you're down here that you're just going to go under that one and not pick up that one there, okay? Maybe you won't do yours so close together and yours will work a bit easier. Okay, right, I'll keep going around there. Should run out of cotton as I get to the end, so then we can do the next bit, okay? I think this is going to look quite jazzy, really. Probably not what you'd expect me to make, but I do love the